Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video featuring Gengar here in the Master Rank. Decided to take Gengar again today in the jungle. Instead of going in lane this time, I actually wanted to do a lane game, but I could not, for the life of me, get a game in which somebody wanted to jungle. It's kind of weird. And then earlier, I tried to get some Cinder's gameplay going on, and every time I wanted to go jungle, either a Talonflame and or Sylveon, would follow me around. So I mean, each their own. It's interesting though, because anytime I decide to play Gengar, it's like they know I'm going jungle. No one really comes and contests me in jungle. No one tries to take it from me in the early game, what have you. Don't have that problem. It's really strange. I don't know if it's because the Pokemon warrants that sort of pressure, especially in team selection, or what. But at the end of the day, as long as I get to play Gengar, I get to play Gengar. We're looking at this game here. I want you guys to pay attention to how many times somebody gets hit with Dream Eater. And then if you guys guess the correct number, we'll do a little thing once we hit 500 subscribers. Now in any case, I wanted to go ahead and show off this game just because this was a perfect Gengar game. I think I make maybe one mistake, and that's just being too aggressive. But when it comes to playing Gengar, especially from what I put out, is it ever, bad to be too aggressive? Yes and no. But in this gameplay, not necessarily a bad thing. Just because the amount of pressure that I put on the map, the amount of objective control that I can take. Now at the end of the day, we are getting Bs here. We get Bs for top lane, just because I feel top lane is going to be the one that's going to get a little bit further behind. Just because there's an Eldegoss in the bot lane with a Venusaur. So they do have a lot of poke. They have a lot of poke potential, a lot of siege. They necessarily shouldn't be being pushed upon, especially versus a Charizard and Pikachu. Should be fine. So I'm technically free to roam. Even though they have a Zahara on the enemy team, he kind of got a little bit shafted this game, I guess you could say. He did well in the early game just by getting farm. But here we go. This is how you counterplay. You gank when he ganks, if that makes sense. He comes down with double jungle buffs, does not notice him around the corner. He goes night-night and he gets killed. But at the end of the day, that costs them Dreadnought here, that costs them pressure in this lane, and that costs them this point. For free. I know it doesn't happen all the time, but at the end of the day, you need to be paying attention to your jungle timers, your buffs, when Dreadnought spawns. Now, most of the time, it'll be difficult to do that, especially in solo queue, considering you don't know what your team is going to do at that point. You don't know if they're going to back, you don't know if they're, just farming Adinos or what have you. And being a Gengar, you have to a little bit rely on your team because you're not a 1v5 hero, unless you get super fed in the early game, which tends to happen sometimes. But at the same time, don't think you're a god, you know what I mean? You have to sit here, you have to play at a team level before you can sit here and play as a solo carry level. But you have to realize that this is a team game, regardless if Zapdos is spawning every 8 minutes. Because you're not guaranteed to get that, you know what I mean? You're guaranteed to get Dreadnought as long as you guys work together. Again, we have Rotom up here, so this is a perfect opportunity to siege, especially because the Aura's in the bot lane. He's not necessarily helping his squad. Also, they're level 6 and 7 here. I'm level 10. Well, this is just because I've been putting pressure all over the map. Now, that's my mistake that I want to say I make this game, just because I thought Venusaur was going to be able to finish off that goal post, considering he only had 9 points left. He was the only person over there, wasn't being contested. But it happened not to be like that. And then Greninja comes over here and takes my my little jungle farm here, which is fine. Again, I am pretty far ahead right now. So it's a good thing that someone else is actually paying attention and picking up jungle buffs when I'm putting pressure somewhere else. So I'm going ahead and call back up here because I figured they're coming top lane, which they were. They had no other choice in this situation here besides trying to get this goal. Now you could argue they could be bot lane. They could. They should have rotated down there by now, but it's a little bit too late. Midnight moves up. Wartortle's caught out. He's level 8. He's not going to be able to trade into me. He's not going to get away. Just because of my movement speed and my boosted auto, we had no problem just catching up to him. Now, I saw Zahara was getting ready to pop his Unite move. He does. He hits Eldegoss with it, doesn't do very much DPS at all because shields. And then he goes night-night. And he's level 9 still. So it goes to show that he's not really been an impact in this game, just because how many Dreadnoughts we've gotten as a team, and how many rotations we've gotten when it comes to bees and being across objectives on the map. Now my team is applying pressure in the bot lane, so I'm free to take this right now, and this is what I've been wanting to do, just go back and forth, bounce between objectives, especially when I have pressure like this. Bella Ross knows what's up. She's been following me around when it comes to getting these objectives, just because. Why not? My teams are already, you know, pushing on the bot lane, getting free kills, rotating. This I can ignore. Now, generally, you would want to follow up with a Rotom, but my team is bot lane, so 2v5 in that scenario is not a good idea. Just assuming that the enemy team is going to go up there and try to take down the Rotom, right? So we're going ahead and going to go back down to bot lane, going to get that rotation going down. Sylveon's taking my jungle farm. I went over here just thinking that maybe she was going to be nice and give me a blue buff or what have you, but she didn't. That's fine. It's all good. So take in mind, look at the map. They're going to go back to the top lane so they can get this goal, because no one else is up there. Which would have been the smart play to do in this situation. I put him to sleep during his Unite move, which bought her a little bit of time just to get out. Like, that millisecond of going to sleep, being stunned, or CC crowd control, what have you, can make or break team fights in most case situations. Now, at the end of the day, Gengar's sleep is not as powerful as Snorlax's, but at the same time it does the job. Because that split second, like I said, not being able to move, it's great. I don't know what these silly goobers were doing here. They wanted to group up for my Unite move. Sure, no problem. Just keep in mind though, sometimes Gengar's Unite move is a little bit buggy. You could get like crowd control during your Unite move. It doesn't cancel the animation. It looks like it does, but you're still in the ground. You're still ready to pop up. Sadly enough, I trusted Eldergross there just to, you know, keep me up or shield me in case I needed it. But in that sense, never do that, because again, you don't know what your team's gonna do. You could have just let me die, you know, and then I'd been big sad. But at the end of the day, we end up getting that. We take over that objective, we get those kills, we get the goal, we move down for Dreadnought again. We take it right before Zapdos spawns. What's that, the 4th Dreadnought of the game? It means we got all 4 Dreadnoughts, all 4 level ups. Enemy team cannot contest us on the Zapdos here. And all I have to do is just sit here and play poke. Because we don't need Zapdos to win. We've had to lead the entire game. Now, in this mindset here, everyone's popping Unite moves, everyone's going in. So you're just like, I want to go in too, I want to get in and do damage. Don't play it like that. Like I said, you can be a carry, you're a carry for your squad, but at the end of the day, as long as you stay alive during these team fights and situations, it's more valuable than just running in head first. Even though you play Lucario, even though you play Gengar, even though you play Pokemon like Greninja that have to dive, go in, just play it smart. See, at the end of the day, like, imagine if I were to jump in there and I got killed, Blast Wish flashes over, eject button's over, Unite moves, take Zapdos. There's so many different situations that could change the outcome of the game. But hey man, hopefully you guys do learn a thing or two by playing Gengar. This has been Pawseplays. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm going to go ahead and head out.